Out and About TV. Travel, adventure, and RVs. Join Sharon and Tom each week as they travel America in a 30-foot trailer exploring and living the RV lifestyle. From trip and product reviews to RV show reports and an unfiltered look at life on the road. This is the show for you. Welcome.
What a day for a daydream, custom made for a daydreaming boy. Hey, it's time for another episode of I Can't Sing. No, it's Out and About with Sharon and Tom McAuliffe. And as you can see, I have a very rich fantasy life here on the virtual set. And I appreciate you coming by very, very much. And please let us know what you'd like to see. Let us know how we've been doing. We've got about 25 episodes out here now. Long form. You'll notice now we're seeing many more shorts being posted from these different episodes. And we really appreciate the help and support. Coming up, we've got a couple really cool things. Sharon and I are working on, she mostly is working on a thing, the best RV camp cooking gear of 2026. A roundup. I've got the script right here that we're working on. We've been putting some of the things that we have through some testing. We've been dreaming and talking. What does it take? You know, especially when space is at a premium, you can only take so much. So we're going to go through all that. Also, working on a roundup of the best RV apps of 2026. And I'm super excited to be interviewing Mike Weedland of RV Lifestyle, and really a founder of modern RV YouTube channeling and blogging and guidebooks and courses. He's got the new Roadmaster 2.0. We're going to talk about that, as well as his new RV planning app. So that and a lot more. Buckle up. There's a lot to get to. We look forward to hearing from you. Buckle up, and away we go.
At Out and About TV, we've done the legwork for you, watching, analysing and curating the top RV YouTube channels that cover everything from trailers and fifth wheels to vans and mobile homes. These RV YouTubers have turned their passion into full-time careers, influencing the RV community and even shaping industry trends. Channels that entertain, educate, and inspire with hosts that have the heart of a teacher. Stop by and we will examine what these channels are covering. And it is more than just entertainment. Just consider Out and About your personal digital campfire for all things RV.
This week's Out and About channel spotlight shines on one of the most entertaining and relatable travel channels on YouTube, The Endless Adventure. Hosted by husband and wife travel team Eric and Allison Bieler, the channel follows a couple who made a bold decision back in 2015. After years of working stressful corporate jobs in San Francisco, they decided there had to be more to life than traffic jams, deadlines, and waiting for 2 weeks of vacation every year. So they walked away from the traditional 9-to-5 lifestyle, packed their bags, picked up a camera, and hit the road in search of adventure. What started as a simple travel vlog has grown into a massive success story with nearly 600,000 subscribers and more than 100 million views. Along the way, Eric and Allison have visited more than 25 countries and explored everything from American national parks and roadside diners to European cities, tropical beaches, cruise ships, and hidden food destinations around the world. What really makes The Endless Adventure stand out is their chemistry. They're funny, approachable, and never come across as polished television hosts reading from a script. Instead, viewers feel like they're traveling alongside two close friends who genuinely love each other and what they're doing. Allison describes herself as a Midwestern goofball, and that playful spirit shows up in almost every episode. During the pandemic, the couple took on one of their biggest projects yet, restoring and renovating a vintage 1975 Coachman RV they affectionately named Clementine. What they thought would be a fun little project quickly turned into a major undertaking, but today the restored RV has become part of the channel's identity as they continue exploring America full-time. More of an adventure site than a channel just about RVs. Their videos cover a wide variety of travel experiences, including local food tours, road life, national parks, budget travel tips, and international adventures. One week they may be hiking through the desert at Big Bend National Park, and the next they're tasting street food in Thailand or exploring a hidden village somewhere in Europe. Another thing worth mentioning is the production quality. Eric and Allison do a terrific job balancing cinematic visuals with real-world honesty. They talk openly about travel challenges, budgeting, exhaustion, and the realities of life on the road. And that honesty has helped build a loyal fan base. New episodes typically drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you enjoy travel, the mobile lifestyle, unique foods, or simply watching good people chase their dreams, The Endless Adventure is definitely worth a look. Their story is something many RV heirs and travelers can relate to. The idea that maybe life is just too short to keep putting adventure off for someday. I am Out and About's digital correspondent, Hope. Thanks for watching, and we will see you out there.
Hey, every week, tune in. We're going to keep cataloging the best in RV channels on YouTube and tell you what they're all about and save you a little bit of time there. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hot fun in the summertime. It's summer. Man, summer camping season is here. And if you're traveling through the Southland or the desert Southwest or anywhere where humidity and heat collide, staying cool inside your RV can become a full-time job. It's a challenge. Manufacturers need to do a better job of providing better insulation in travel trailers and motor homes. But that's another matter we'll talk about. Modern travel trailers and motor homes are fortunate to have powerful rooftop air conditioning systems. Most rigs today are equipped with a unit that's rated at around 15,000 BTUs or so. The problem is those rooftop ACs can be absolute energy hogs. One of the smartest upgrades many experienced RV owners are making is install what they call a thing called an easy start. These devices help your air conditioner compressor spin up more efficiently, and they dramatically reduce the electricity startup power surge that most units require. That means less strain on your electrical system, quieter starts, better compatibility with generators and low amperage hookups. Maybe even running your AC unit on a solar system. Yeah. But even the very best air conditioner can only perform as best if it's properly maintained. So let's start with the basics. First, make sure that your interior filters are clean. Check the rooftop shroud and make sure that the cooling fans are clean and dirt, dust, and debris are nowhere to be found. And don't forget the internal baffles and the air distribution channels if you have them. Good airflow is absolutely essential. Contrary to what some people believe, it's often better to run your AC unit on the high setting rather than low. Higher airflow helps prevent ice buildup on the coils and allows the system to operate more efficiently during extreme heat. And speaking of extreme heat, one of the best tricks seasoned RVers know is this: start cooling your rig early. And by early, we mean like 6 o'clock in the morning. Get ahead of the afternoon heat before the sun turns your RV into a rolling toaster oven. If you need to throw on a sweatshirt inside for a little while, that's okay. It's much easier for the AC to maintain a cool cabin than it is to pull the temperature down after the interior has already heated up. That makes sense, right? Another thing that many RV owners overlook is how efficiently their AC system distributes the cold air throughout the coach. Small modifications can make a surprisingly big difference. Some owners use a simple foam or semicircular insert like you'd put on a wall to keep a door from slamming the doorknob. There are these half circles. They're white. You can get them, and owners use them, and they basically put it up in the plenum in the air distribution blocks to help direct the airflow more efficiently into the cabin. We understand that we look up into the air system. We have a outtake, a hot side, and a cold side. Why they designed it that way, I'll never know. But the idea that cold air is coming out this side while hot air is going up on the other side, I'm sure there's some crossover there. So it's much easier to maintain a cool cabin than it is to cool down one, is the point. So we get an early start. There's also a popular aftermarket product called RV Airflow that many RVers swear by. It helps channel the cold air more efficiently through the duct system and can significantly improve cooling performance. It's like I said, you put it up there and it makes the air go this way instead of that way. Now, beyond the air conditioner itself, there are plenty of other ways to help keep your RV cool and comfortable during the dog days of summer. The first, park smart. Park smart. Wherever possible, try and position your RV so it benefits from afternoon shade. Even partial tree cover can make a huge difference in interior temperatures. And don't underestimate the value of your awning. Create your own shade barrier helps keep direct sunlight off the side of the rig. I also saw a rig the other day that had kind of like these umbrellas on top, flexible, half circle things. They were light colored and they basically attached to the top of the rig and provided shade. And so whenever possible, we try to park in the shade. Humidity, of course, is another major factor, especially here in the Southland. That's why many RVers also run small dehumidifiers inside their coaches. Now, we just covered dehumidifiers last episode, so check that out. Drier air simply feels cooler and helps the air conditioner work more efficiently. Window coverings also matter too. Heavy curtains, reflective shades, insulated blackout materials can dramatically reduce heat gain. Many campers use Reflectix, that silver reflective insulation material, inside the windows to bounce the heat back outside before it enters the RV for real. When you arrive at your campsite, use your roof vent to exhaust that trapped hot air from inside the rig. You'd be amazed at how much heat builds up near the ceiling while just traveling down the highway. So get that hot air out of there. And once the cabin cools down, consider covering unused ceiling vents and skylights to prevent heat intrusion. Small portable fans throughout the RV can also help circulate the cool air into sleeping areas, bathrooms, bunk spaces where airflow is sometimes limited. Now, here's an idea that sounds a little bit unusual, but some RV owners are swear by it. But some RV owners swear by it. You know how in the wintertime you have a skirt around your rig to keep the hot air in? People are doing that in the summertime now to keep the cool air in, to keep the hot air out from being underneath the trailer. Yeah. The idea is to block the hot air from circulating underneath the trailer and reduce radiant heat buildup beneath the floor. May sound odd, but many RVers report noticeable improvements in cabin comfort. And honestly, all of this circles back to the one important issue: insulation. And sadly, there's no upgrade for that. So here's a little open letter to the manufacturers in Elkhart, Indiana. Insulation matters. Too thin Asdel walls isn't enough. A well-insulated RV stays cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, quieter during storms, and puts far less strain on heating and cooling systems. Better insulation simply creates a more comfortable home on wheels. Please keep this in mind as you design and manufacture the rigs of tomorrow. Better insulation, please. Keeping your RV cool during the peak of summer can absolutely be a challenge, especially in humid climates throughout the South or the scorching heat in the Southwest. But all of these little tricks and techniques can add up to make a cooler, quieter, and far more comfortable camping experience for you and your family. And whether you're relaxing at the dinette with lunch or trying to get a good night's sleep after a long day on the trail or on the road, Staying cool can make all the difference. Stay cool, everybody, and we'll see you down the road on Out and About TV. It's time for this week's trip report. Big Bend, America's most underrated national park. Some national parks are so crowded these days, they almost feel like theme parks. Long entrance lines, packed campgrounds, traffic jams, crowds standing shoulder to shoulder, trying to snap the same photograph. But far out along the Texas and Mexican border lies a place that still feels wild, feels remote, and untamed. Welcome to Big Bend National Park, quite possibly America's most underrated national park, and certainly one of the most little known. Located in the far southwestern corner of Texas, Big Bend, Big Bend, like you're bending over? No. Big Bend, not Big Ben, Big Bend. You bend it. Located in the far southwestern corner of Texas, Big Bend covers more than 800,000 acres of desert, mountains, canyons, and some of the most dramatic scenery anywhere in the United States. And unlike parks like Yellowstone or Yosemite, Big Bend still feels wonderfully isolated. Ain't no crowds here, or very few. In fact, getting there is part of the adventure. The park sits hours away from major cities, and once you arrive, you quickly realize this is not just a quick roadside stop or attraction. Big Bend is vast, rugged, and beautifully unforgiving. Fuel stops are limited. Cell service can be spotty at best, mostly non-existent. and summer temperatures can climb well above 100 degrees. This place and Arizona have a lot in common. But for travelers willing to make the journey, the rewards are incredible. One of the park's most iconic locations is Santa Elena Canyon, where towering limestone cliffs rise dramatically above the Rio Grande River. Standing there at sunset, watching the light bounce off the canyon walls, it's easy to understand why so many visitors describe Big Bend as a spiritual place. Then there's the Chisos Mountains. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Chiso, Chisos Mountains. They're a cool mountainous island rising out of the surrounding desert. The contrast between the rocky desert terrain and the forested mountain peaks is something you really have to see to believe. Big Bend is also internationally recognized as one of the best dark sky locations in America. On clear nights, the stars here don't just appear overhead, they explode across the sky. The Milky Way becomes visible in stunning detail, reminding visitors just how rarely most Americans truly experience darkness anymore. It was one of the reasons why I went. If you're into astronomy and you want to see the stars, that's the place to go. Wildlife lovers can spot everything from roadrunners and hyenas to black bears and mountain lions, while hikers will find hundreds of miles of trails winding through the desert, through canyons, and through mountain ridges. And perhaps what makes Big Bend National Park so special is what it doesn't have. It doesn't have giant tourist traps. There's no crowded boardwalks. There's no endless souvenir shops. Instead, Big Bend offers silence, space, solitude, the kind of experience that reminds you just how big and beautiful our country truly is. For RV travelers, it's important to plan ahead. Campgrounds can fill during the cooler months. Fuel planning is also essential, and travelers should always carry extra water, and especially during the hotter seasons. But if you're looking for one of America's last truly wild places, and a place that is relatively unknown, check out Big Bend National Park in South Texas. It may just be one of the most unforgettable destinations you will ever visit. And honestly, folks, in a world growing louder and more crowded every year, places like Big Bend matter now more than ever. I'm Tom for Out and About. For this segment of Out and About TV, we're talking about one of the hottest trends in RV protection and maintenance. Spray-on seamless roof systems from companies like Flex Armor. Well, they invented it, basically. Now, if you've spent any time around RV owners, you've already know one thing. Water is the enemy. It doesn't matter whether you own a small travel trailer, a fifth wheel, or a $500,000 luxury motorhome. If water gets in, trouble is right behind it. Leaks can destroy ceilings, walls, insulation, flooring, electronics, cabinetry, and sometimes by the time you actually see the leak, it's too late. The damage has already been done, and sometimes for months and years, undetected. That's why more RV owners are taking a hard look at these newer spray-on roofing systems. Traditionally, most RV roofs are made from rubber membrane materials like EPDM or TPO. They work, but they require maintenance, and they do allow moisture to get in. When I peeled mine off, the underlayment was moist, and you could detect that it had been wet in the past. But those rubber membranes, they do work, but they require maintenance. Over time, seams can separate, sealants crack, vents loosen up, and the constant punishment from heat, the sun, cold, UV exposure, tree limbs, road vibration, it can all begin to slowly compromise your roof. And besides, let's face it, a lot of RV owners dread roof and seam maintenance. Got better things to do. I got fish to feed. Okay? I ain't got time for that. Nobody really wants to climb up on the roof of the rig every few months with tubes of Dicor and checking every seam and vent cover while balancing in the hot sun. No, thank you. That's where systems like Flex Armor come in. I don't want this to sound like an ad, but I'm really impressed with this technology. This isn't just another roll-on DIY paint roller from the hardware store type thing. This is a professionally applied spray-on polyura roof system. The material is sprayed on hot under high pressure and cures incredibly fast into a thick, hard shell protective barrier. It's almost like liquid fiberglass. And perhaps the two biggest selling points of all, no seams, lifetime warranty. That's right. One of the biggest failure points on traditional RV roofs is eliminated because the roof basically becomes essentially one continuous hard shell, covering the entire top of the RV, and they stand behind the treatment with a national network of dealers. It is a thorough process with a proprietary coating that wraps around vents, skylights, edges, fixtures, creating a monolithic surface designed to stop water intrusion before it ever starts. Now, because the process is sprayed on thick, much thicker than paint or a simple coating, it creates a very durable surface. Owners often describe it as thicker than truck bed liner spray-on. It resists punctures, UV damage, impacts from small debris, and general weather exposure far, far better than any traditional membrane roofs. And here's something really interesting. Some RV owners are not waiting for leaks or damage anymore. There are actually people taking brand new rigs directly from the dealership and having Flex Armor installed immediately. Think about that for a moment. People are spending serious money on a new trailer or motorhome and deciding that the very first upgrade they want is roof protection. Personally, I think that's smart. You know, and we'll talk about cost here in a minute, but isn't protecting your $50,000 investment worth another $5,000, $6,000? I think so. Not to mention taking the whole worry. Like I say, I got better things to do with my time than crawl around on a roof at 70 years old. I got fish to feed. But the fact that they're putting this treatment on brand new rigs, that should tell you something about how concerned RV owners are about long-term water damage and factory roof quality. And honestly, can you blame them? Story after story of leaking roofs coming out of the factory. Elkhart, I'm going to fly into town and I'm going to rent a big pickup truck, put big speakers on the back, and I'm going to play the song Tighten Up. It's time to tighten it up. The RV industry has struggled with quality control complaints over the past dozen years. Owners have reported everything from loose trim to plumbing leaks to improperly sealed roofs. So many RVers are now taking a proactive approach rather than waiting for problems to appear every 2 weeks. So many RV owners are now taking a proactive approach rather than waiting around for problems to appear and going up and checking on the roof every 2 weeks. Now, one thing to understand about systems like Flex Armor is that they're not cheap. They are not cheap. This is not a $500 weekend DIY project. And depending on the size of the RV, the complexity of the roof, and the amount of prep work required, removing and reattaching all those solar panels can be very expensive. But all in, you'll be looking at several thousand dollars depending on the size of your rig. But supporters argue that compared to the cost of major water damage, replacing ceilings, insulation, cabinetry, structural wood rot, the investment may actually save money in the long run. And there's, like I say, another benefit that can't be overlooked: reduced maintenance, reduced worry. Instead of constantly rechecking roof seams and recoating sealants every season, many owners say the peace of mind alone is worth the cost, especially full-timers or people storing rigs outdoors in harsh climates like Florida and Arizona, or even up north where snow and ice can be brutal to RV roofs. Now, to be fair, no roof system is magic. You still need to inspect your RV. Tree limbs can still cause damage. Vents and accessories still need an occasional attention. And anytime you modify the roof with new equipment like solar panels, Starlink mounts, and satellite dishes, proper insulation and installation remain critical. But there is no question in my mind that these seamless spray-on roof systems are becoming one of the most talked about upgrades in the RV world. In many ways, it mirrors what happened years ago with the commercial roofing industry, where seamless coatings and sprayed systems became popular because they reduced leak points and extended roof life. RV owners are now paying attention, especially as rigs become more expensive and people need to keep them longer. Ultimately, an RV is basically a house bouncing through an earthquake every time you drive down the road. Vibration, flexing, temperature swings, rain, hail, UV exposure, they all attack the roof 24/7. So anything that potentially reduces leaks and strengthens that first line of defense is going to be something to be looked at and considered strongly. Now, whether a Flex Armor system is right for you depends on your budget, how long you plan on keeping the rig, where you travel, how comfortable you are with ongoing roof maintenance. But both new and used owners are doing it in growing numbers. And one thing's for sure: the days of RV owners simply accepting roof leaks as part of the lifestyle, the ticks go with the dog, as they say, that is finally starting to change. The days of RV owners simply accepting roofs as part of the bargain, as part of the lifestyle, that is starting to change. And in my opinion, this might be one of the best upgrades the RV industry has seen in years. I'm Tom McAuliffe for Out and About TV. Hey, thanks a lot for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please like and subscribe. Gives us some encouragement to keep on going. And let us know what you would like to see. Don't forget to enter into the t-shirt contest. It's getting to be the end of the month. We'll do the drawing probably during our live broadcast of the 25th on Memorial Day. We're going to do a brief broadcast, and we've got 7 entries so far. If you'd like to enter, just send us an email and we'll enter you in the contest, and you can walk away with either a ball cap or one of these handy dandy Adventure Before Dementia t-shirts. I'd like to say a shout out about the Wingman Josh controversy, the back and forth, and fostering the discussion about hidden fees and what contract terminology means. That's a good thing. You know, a little bit of controversy is not necessarily a bad thing. We're all adults here. We all want the same thing, which is a more informed RV consumer. What's not to like about that? And the other thing I'll just say is I think this is a real teachable moment. I think Josh should get with somebody in their finance department, their finance manager, or their president even, come on the air and explain exactly line by line. As somebody who is about to spend $50,000, I would like that information. And I'm going to require that information for whatever dealer I go with. I want so that even an idiot like me can understand it, which is, a little bit difficult, I understand, but we can get there. I've posted a little video comment about it, a little op-ed about the whole thing, and I welcome your thoughts, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks so much. Get out there and see your old pal, Mother Nature, and we'll see you out and about.